back again on another video. This is going to be a two-part video, questions and answers, and then a walk through a cemetery here in Cleveland that's supposed to be the haunted cemetery, I guess, in Ohio. But as a disclaimer, I have to say this first, as I was told to make this public. The thing that's going on right now on YouTube is took to a new step, a new level. It was all fun and playful, and things got out of hand. I was told to say this. It became serious when a certain person said they'd killed before, and I'm next on the list. So I took steps to protect myself. I sat down and talked to a group of people, and I'm not talking about this mysterious voodoo council they're supposed to have that don't exist. These are attorneys, and they took it very seriously also. So everything that took place from the beginning all the way to the end has been downloaded and put on hard drives in case things actually disappear. So what I'm trying to say is, if anything happens, if I drop dead in front of you with a heart attack, get hit by a car, robbed an armed robber, meteorite hits me on the head, there's a certain person that'll be suspect number one. So it took a turn that shouldn't have took. It got real serious, so I did things to cover my ass. So I needed, they said, to say that publicly and let the world understand what's going on. And everything's being watched. Every new step is taken is downloaded and placed on hard drive until, you know, if it goes away, it's still on hard drive. So that's been said. Question and answers.
All right. Number one, tell us about cemetery protocol for doing spiritual work.
Cemetery protocol, if you walk into a cemetery to do work, any kind of work, when you enter through the gates, you leave an offering. Sometimes it's 3 pennies, sometimes it's 9, maybe a small bottle of libation, because you're coming into the realm of barons, some being the barons. This is their realm, this is their home. You pay respect. If you get a creepy feeling or the hair on the back of your neck stands up, leave, because you're being told that we don't want you here and what's going on. If that's okay, it depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to come in and do black magic, do your homework, there's parts of the cemetery that's unconsecrated soil. That's where you go to do your black magic. The way to find that out is go to the Hall of Records in your city. It will be there. If you try to do something, take dirt or lay something at any random grave, there's a good chance that it will backfire and you will pay consequences for it, because that person you're laying this dark work, this nasty shit in front of, excuse me, the actual going on. This person may revolt against that, because in life there was a good person, and remembering that what we are in life, we are in death. So just be respectful when you come in. Like today, we paid our respects, but we're only coming in here filming, and I'll get to that in part 2. So I hope that answers the question about protocol, how to enter the cemetery with respect.
If you think someone has done work on your ancestor's grave, is there something that can be done?
If you come into the cemetery to pay respects to your ancestors, sometimes we go in and paint the tombs every year. Most of the time the grass is mowed, trimmed around them. If you come up to your ancestors or anybody in your family's resting spot, and you see things on there, burnt candles, chicken's feet, anything, markings, fall back, go find some Florida water, come back, spray the Florida water all over it, and then remove the items into a plastic or brown bag and dispose of them. This should be all right, because if it's somebody's bad work or any kind of work, your ancestors should protect you, because now something was made on the grave that they didn't want. So it could be removed the right way, and use Florida water to protect yourself. Remove it, put it in a plastic bag, brown bag, and then dispose of it. Your ancestor probably didn't want that, and you will be protected by them.
When you visit the cemetery and see things laid on the headstone, what does that mean? For example, I saw nickels, dimes, and quarters at the Rockefeller grave.
An aspect of the Rockefeller grave, here in this city, well, everybody heard the name Rockefeller. that was probably somebody going to them for financial help because they were financial kings in their time and still is today. I seen that that monument is quite big, and nickels, quarters, and dimes was laid around it. That was somebody going there asking for help financially in a business or to help build their empire. That's all right. If that spirit or energy wants to work with you, paying respect like that, you may get something out of it. That's how you do it. I mean, out of respect. And I have to say this now, since I've been up here, I have not found a cemetery or the biggest cemeteries to have a cross in the middle of it. So maybe things are that way in the south. So, but you still have to pay homage and respect to the gay day because you're in their home. And what's been referred to, that was probably somebody going there, laying quarters down, asking for help in a financial matter because, let's face it, the Rockefellers to this day are strong.
If I wanted to ask for something, say a financial blessing, am I able to go to the cemetery and ask, or is that impossible for me?
No, that's possible. Once again, back to protocol. If you respect coming in, respect the gay day, leave your offerings. But again, do your homework. Most people, if you're born and raised in a city, you've heard of a name that was powerful in finances. Try to go to that grave, and that's who you ask, because let's face it, if you just go up to a grave, no disrespect to anybody, you go up to a grave that was basically paupers while they was living on earth, that's, you know, maybe the help you're going to get. So again, do your homework, find a financial giant in their time, and do like that one person did at the Rockefeller site. Yeah, because he had the power, the family still has the power. So just do your homework, and that should be all right.
Okay. If I'm needing some graveyard dirt for spiritual work, what do I need to do to make sure I'm safe?
Once again, it goes back to the protocol. Pay your respects coming into the gay day. Graveyard dirt, everybody thinks is bad. Blessed graveyard dirt can be used in love work and anything else like that as long as it's blessed. If you're going to do that, I suggest getting a small plant, and that way you take one scoop of soil out, place the plant in. You have to leave something in return because you're taking something from these people's resting place. This is their home. Write down the name. Remember who you're working with. And if it's regular work, love, or something like that, again, do your homework. Make sure who you actually work from or help from. Just because they're spirits don't mean that they'll help you. Once again, you may have went to a grave of a person that never had love, and every time they did, they was jilted. So that'll be your outcome. But do it respect, always, always pay respect to the gay day and leave something that you take. So yes, you can go into a graveyard and remove dirt respectfully. Once again, if you're trying to do black magic, go to the Hall of Records, find the unconsecrated soil and go there. But really cleanse yourself and make sure, because now you're standing in a pit where there was no holy water sprinkled, the priest didn't say anything at time of burial, it's unconsecrated. Don't go to a regular person and try to lay some nasty work in front of it. It'll probably backfire on you. Just use your head when you go in there.
Okay. What about removing items from the cemetery?
I wouldn't, and why would you? If you find something on a grave that looks good or something like that, or there was a particular thing we came across about a lady with a shell that she removed from a cemetery, and now she feels she has brought something back home with her. This was me. This was me. I think if she had just seen a shell on the ground and it was pretty, picked it up, that's all right. I mean, you should say thank you anyway. If that's how the case, it might have been something off somebody's grave and it was laid there. Now you're taking stuff from their home. That's like me going to your home, taking something that I like. Don't do it. Just leave it, you know.
All right. As far as Marie Laveau is concerned, if I wanted to ask her for help, what is the proper way to go about it? Can I mark her tomb with the 3 red X's as I've seen?
Everyone can go when they're in New Orleans to Marie Laveau's tomb and ask for help. As far as the 3 X's putting on there with the red brick dust, at one time the city council and the commission for that cemetery was talking about putting a fence around her tomb because after a while they'll have to keep painting, and then they come back and they pressure wash it and paint again, remembering that it's old red clay, what, 120, 110, 120 years old. Every time you pressure wash, you're breaking down clay. Eventually that thing's gonna collapse. Second, to me, now this is me, I find that's disrespectful. That's like me coming to your house with a big can of red paint and a paintbrush putting 3 X's. That doesn't need to be done. If she was going to hear you, she was going to hear you. But yes, bring Mardi Gras beads, some libation, and leave it there like the rest of the people did. But as far as making the X, spinning around 3 times, you can spin around 3 times. I wouldn't mark it. Like I said, eventually the city was talking about putting a fence up around her. So that might end soon.
All right. No more questions on my end.
Okay, let me see if I can go over some things before we shut this one down. This is part 1. Just remember, coming into a cemetery, have respect. This is the home of the gay days, Baron Samedi, Baron Laveau, the rest of them. As I said, this is just me. I'm supposed to be an idiot, but that's okay. Just pay respect. If you come in like we did today, we paid our respects coming in, but we're not doing anything. We're not trying to remove anything. The second part will be questions that I want y'all to answer in the comments, what y'all think what I'm seeing in the cemetery. Just have respect. Don't walk in and get scared and throw some nasty work in front of anybody. That is going to blow up in your face. You come in for graveyard dirt. Basically, you probably go to anybody's grave and take a scoop of dirt, put it in a jar, but bring a plant with you so you can replace what you're doing and give thanks. Just remember, I think the old saying is, the living can't hurt the dead, but the dead can hurt the living. This is their home now. And some may be here that's not happy they're in their home. So we're going to go over that with the next part of what's going on in the cemetery. To be really very haunting. So I'd like to come out at night and see what we could pick up. But my director doesn't believe in guerrilla photography. So we're just doing it during the day.
No, not out here. We're across from
Okay.
Progressive Field,
Yeah,
so it's highly monitored. It's not worth the risk.
Where the Cleveland Indians play, and we're going to pass on a story that was logged down about why the Cleveland Indians have so much trouble getting to playoffs and World Series. So that's it. The disclaimer was said. I was told to say it in public. It has been said. Thank y'all for this. I hope this answers some questions for protocol in the graveyard. Keep supporting the channel. Keep supporting myself. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.